Hey, Monica Graham here with Graham Law Firm in California. Wanting to go over a few things, explaining the differences between a will and a trust. So, a will is considered public because even though it's a simple document that you keep obviously in the privacy of your own home, when you pass away, in order to be distributed, the estate, your family member, your personal representative, whoever's the executor, they have to file a copy of it into the Superior Court. So that's what makes the will public. Now, in contrast, a trust is private. And that means that when you form your trust, it stays with you in a safe place in your safe or, you know, a port and file cabinet or what have you, and you can give copies to your beneficiaries, but it doesn't go into court unless there's some kind of litigation or some kind of a dispute. But that's the difference between a will and a trust. A will is public, a trust is private. Another thing that I think it's the most common mistake that people fail to understand is that if you don't have a proper trust in place, but you do have a will is still going to land you in probate court. I think that the people that I speak to, they they confuse a will and not having a will, and they think that if you don't have a will, then you have to go into probate, but that's not true. Only a trust is going to keep you out of probate in the differences between a will and a trust. So I don't prefer wills for that reason, because litigation in California probate court, you're looking at probably 18 months to 2 years, and it's expensive. You're looking at attorney's fees, representative fees, court costs, and once you get over $166,000, everything goes on according to a sliding scale. So the average is a 5 to 7% cost that is money that's not going to your family. So again, I really prefer a trust for that reason, because a will is expensive once it goes through probate. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, but I don't want to spend all the money on a trust. Look, if you spend 1,500 to 2,500 on a trust up front, that's a huge difference compared to what your family is going to end up spending once it's in probate. So it's a little bit selfish to try to take any shortcuts right now and then to put that burden on your family when you're gone, because it doesn't make sense to put them through such a grueling, stressful, annoying process if you can avoid it right now. So my point is, the trust makes more sense in California. If you own real estate, you know, no doubt your estate is going to be worth more than $150,000. So why would you mess around with a will if it's going to be aggravating to your loved ones when you're gone? And then the grieving process to me is just so personal and it's so emotional. My philosophy is, I would rather, when you're gone, that your loved ones grieve for you quietly, peacefully, in their own way, where they're not putting their boxing gloves and they're going into court, they're fighting with other family members, they're possibly fighting with creditors. Why would you want that? So I do prefer trusts over wills for that matter. Trust can do a lot of different things. One reason why I wish Prince had had a trust is because he was very philanthropic and donated to a lot of charities while he was alive. We found a lot of that out that he was keeping secret while he was alive. Had he formed a trust while he was alive, he could have carried on those charitable contributions, because he was donating to music programs and climate change movements. And so, for someone who wasn't close to their family, he wasn't close to his half siblings or his siblings, it just kind of doesn't make sense that he would leave all of that behind just to avoid forming a trust, when he could have, continued everything on with his music. He could have appointed a trustee to distribute even his vault, all the music in his vault. So that's a really good example of what you can do with a trust. With a trust, you can appoint a power of attorney to take care of any medical needs along with a medical directive. What if you pass away and you're in a coma? You can have a medical directive that tells the doctor, the hospital, what you want them to do. If you don't have that in place, then you have your loved ones, again, they're fighting, everyone's arguing. If no one can come to a decision, then they end up going to court. So I'm trying to keep you out of court for all the right reasons, and a trust accomplishes those efforts. So if this is making any sense with you, if this is resonating, please like and follow for more. You can ask me any questions. You can contact me on my website, send me an email, but I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. And please consider forming a trust. You can also include your life insurance, your retirement, any other kind of personal assets, personal property, and you can take care of your guardianship, your long-term care, and just so many other things that you can accomplish with a trust that you cannot do with a will. So thank you for listening. My name is Monica Graham, and your remedy is in court.